Although counting along with a song and figuring out where each note lands in your counting is one of the best ways to transcribe a rhythm, there will come times where this method doesn't work perfectly. Usually these cases where this doesn't work will be cases involving a tuplet or somebody playing ahead or behind the beat. So let's have a look at an example where both of these are at play. So we're going to look at Annabella by Renato Braz. So let's play the song and isolate the part that is off our grid. Song's in 4/4, we're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Great, so that's the whole intro, and let's play it one more time. Count along 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and let's see that the second note that the oboe plays is in fact right away off the grid. So 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 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 3 and 4 and 1. Great. So let's isolate that part. Let's make a loop. And let's add some EQ so that we can isolate the guitar. So I've got this where I've just got the low, mostly the mids, the low mids cranked, and that's gonna isolate the guitar so that we can hear the guitar against the oboe a little bit better. So the first thing we want to consider is where the oboe lines up with any strong beats. So let's just consider beats 1 and 3, the strong beats, and let's see which beats 1 and which beats 3 have oboe on them. So let's listen to our passage at a slower speed. 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Great, so let's check which ones. So ready? No. Yes. 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 Good. So not the first beat 1, but the first beat 3 does. So bar 5 beat 1 doesn't, bar 5 beat 3 does. Bar 6 beat 1 does, but it seemed a little bit off. And then bar 6 beat 3 does. The second thing you want to do is you want to zoom in and you want to look at a smaller subdivision of the notes. So what we're going to do in that regard is instead of counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we're going to count 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, and see if any of the oboe notes line up with that counting. So we're going to do it at 40% of the tempo. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So there we could see that some of the main beats definitely lined up, and then some of these also lined up, but it was very inconsistent and it was very hard to see exactly which ones. So within this smaller subdivision, it's most likely that these 3 notes in between each beat 1 and 3 are likely going to follow either a grouping of 3-3-2 or 3-2-3 or 2-3-3, where I'm talking about 3/16 notes, 3/16 notes, 2/16 notes type of thing. So like 1 E and a, 2 E and a, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So let's check each of those and see if any of them are going to be suitable. So we're going to play it at about a little bit slower, just so we can do that. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, so that one kind of worked for the last one, but it didn't really work for the rest of them. So let's say that that one's not the one that they're doing. Let's try 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. So let's try that. Again, worked a little bit for the last one, but not really for the other ones. So we're seeing that the first two are probably going to be triplets. Let's try the last one where it's 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3. Yeah, and that one again didn't really line up. So no combination of 3 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 3 work for this. So we have to consider a couple other things. The third thing to consider is if the plane is ahead or behind the beat. So first listen to it at full speed and see if there's any parts in the phrase that seem like they're rushed or dragged. So yeah, it's pretty hard to tell, but I would say just the last part is a little bit rushed and the middle is a little bit dragged. So let's listen to it at a slower speed and let's focus on beats 1 and 3 and see if any places have something going on at beat 1 and 3 where it's not exactly on the beats. 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah, so the one that for me seems like it was off was this one here so bar 6 beat 1. So we're going to try to listen for a flam between the guitar and the oboe. Guitar and the oboe. I'm playing the oboe up an octave, so. You should hear something like that. Let's give it a listen. There we go. So did we hear that? So I'm not sure if you heard that, but that would be what I would consider the oboe playing just a little bit behind the beat. So it's so close, but it's just a little bit off. So now after considering all these options, the last thing to do is to try to force a tuplet into the song. So here, since we have 3 notes in between each of the beats 1 and 3, quarter note triplets would fit really well. So let's play the song and let's just clap triplets over the song. So that definitely worked. It worked quite well near the end and in the middle of the phrase. The beginning was a little bit off, but let's try it. Let's try it one more time. That worked pretty well. Those quarter note triplets worked pretty well. So this song, it's quite appropriate to do triplets. So it's important that when transcribing a rhythm that's off the grid, you first investigate where it's on the grid. You then look with a smaller subdivision. And then you look at any of the places that seem like there is ahead or behind the beat playing. And then only at the end, you consider the option of tuplets. You also want to make sure that your transcription reflects the way the performers were thinking about the music. So you don't want to make something overly complicated rhythmically by notating it in a very strange way. And you want to understand when performers are pushing or pulling a little bit, or when they're adding their own nuances to a rhythm. And you want to be able to write that properly in notation. Not to be confusing, but not to be incomplete. We'll talk more about these subtleties and how to deal with them in lesson 7.